Hello, welcome to Stamp Designs with Denise. Sorry, I started my live and then for some reason it cut out and said that there was a problem with this, and then I couldn't get onto Facebook, and then I was having all sorts of issues. So anyways, hello, I'm finally on. I don't know what was happening before, but hopefully it won't kick me out and I will be able to get through this live without any more issues. So thank you so much for watching. Again, let me start over. Wow. Welcome to Stamp Designs with Denise. I am Denise Johnson, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Bedford, New Hampshire. This whole thing kind of threw me off when I was having issues. So I want to thank everybody that is watching either live on Facebook or watching the replay on Facebook or watching on YouTube. I appreciate all of your comments and your support. It helps me to continue to bring these free stamping creative lessons to you. So I do a raffle if you comment or share my videos, and I will send you the 3 cards that I make in my live video. So last week I have Vicky that commented in I choose one winner out of all the comments on Facebook. So congratulations, Vicky. These were the cards from last week. If you didn't get a chance to watch the video, you can go back and watch it. This is another one using the Darling Donkeys. And then this is the one that was lots of heart. So, and then on YouTube, the winner was Kathy P. So I have Vicky's address, so I will stick those in the mail to her. Kathy P, if you would like these. And also you have to be within the United States. I tried to mail something to a different country and it requires me going to the post office, and it also costs a lot of money. So it's not really beneficial for me to do that. So if you are in the United States, I am happy to send, and you comment, I am happy to send these cards to you. So you can visit my blog for all of the measurements and pictures and product links for my videos. That is stampdesignswithdenise.net. And if you're a customer of mine, I always send a PDF for the month that you order in that it contains exclusive products that my fellow demonstrators and I have made. So I think that's all my information for right now. I am going to get my camera flipped around. We'll do a little bit of housekeeping stuff from Stampin' Up, and then I will show you. I have one layout today, and I'm going to make 3 different cards using that layout. So if you've watched some of my other videos, I love to find a layout that will work for multiple stamp sets. So that's what we're going to do today. So I see I have a couple people joining me live. Thank you. I'm going to get my camera flipped around and we will get started. So if you do not have a copy of the catalog yet, there's always a link on my blog that will take you to the online digital catalogs. If you like to have the catalogs in person and you're local to me, contact me. I'm happy to give you one. I do always mail or deliver catalogs to my customers that place orders with me. So these are the current catalogs. Of course, Sale-A-Bration will be ending on February 28th. These are the products that you can earn for free by placing an order. This is the January to June mini catalog, and this has a whole bunch of spring themed stamps and products in it. And then of course this is our annual catalog, which runs from, I believe this goes until the end of June. So maybe the end of May. I gotta figure that out, I guess. But anyways, if you're looking for any copies of any of these, you can find them online or contact me and I'll try and get you one. Next month is the Paper Pumpkin. Is called the Bouquet of Hope. Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription kit that you can get. You get a whole box that has everything in it. I just received my one for January yesterday called Sending Hearts, and I'm going to hopefully get my alternatives up by the end of the week. I seem to have a huge following on YouTube that always watch my alternative projects for the paper pumpkin. So I'm working on those later today, and hopefully we'll have a video up by the end of the week. So in February, you can subscribe to this until February 10th to get the Bouquet of Hope. It includes supplies to create 9 cards. This is one of the cards, and then there will be 2 other cards. It'll be 3 of each design. So they just wanted to show you. Usually they don't show you the cards that you can make ahead of time. They just give you hints and stuff, but I guess this time they wanted to show you what they would be looking like. So in this troubled times we seem to be going through, a lot of people are sad. There's a lot of unrest and stuff and uncertainty right now in the world. So hopefully these cards, you can use these to help bring some happiness to those around you. There is a special going on during Sale-A-Bration for joining Stampin' Up. If you join my team, you can get 5 packages of 6x6 designer series paper. This paper will be available in the upcoming annual catalog, but for now, if you join Stampin' Up, you can get those for free. It's an over $55 value for free, and it's a pretty good deal. So you would choose $125 in merchandise. You're going to pay only $99 for it. You're going to get that free. There's also other things that come free. There's catalogs in there. There's a free paper pumpkin kit that comes in it. There's some other supplies. So even though you're picking out $125 in merchandise, it's a great value. You're getting a lot more than $125 for your $99. Sale-A-Bration, as I said, is going on right now. There's a lot of ways to earn free products. You can shop for every $50 or $100 you spend. You can receive 2 different levels of free products. You could host a party if you want to host a party. You can talk to me about that. We're not really meeting right now in my area, but if you want to do an online Facebook party, I'm happy to host that for you and give you some more information about that. And then you can join Stampin' Up, which is what we just talked about. So that's all my housekeeping out of the way. And I think I'm required to say also that all of the images and products that I show you are all copyrighted by Stampin' Up. All of the card designs and all that sort of stuff is just my creativity and the way I am using them. So, moving on. This is a card I made using the Flower and Field Designer Series paper, and this is one of the Sale-A-Bration products that you can get for free with a $50 purchase. And then the sentiment comes from the Healing Your Heart stamp set, which is also a free product during Sale-A-Bration. And I just really liked this layout. I like the way the 2 different sides of the designer series paper kind of coordinated. And so I decided this was the layout I was going to use this week to create my cards in my class. So what I normally do is I find a layout I like and I make a mock-up of it. So I had my card first and then I made my mock-up. So this is like an old retired designer series paper that Stampin' Up used to have. So I just use this for my mock-up. On the back I put what all my measurements are for this so that when I take this out I know exactly what everything I need for it is, and it takes the guesswork out of it and I don't have to get my ruler. And so I actually have this tin. This is an old tin that Stampin' Up had. I think it used to have like Christmas tags or something, a Christmas tag kit in it. And so as you can see, I have all these different layouts that when I'm stuck or I just need some inspiration, I will go and I will pick one of these and my measurements are on the back and it just gives me a jumping off point. So that's what I did with this layout. So now I'm adding this to my collection in my tin, and it'll be there when I need inspiration another time. So let's get started. And then I did put the measurements on the description of my video. If you want to do this along with me, use whatever stamp sets you have. And if you do stamp along and you're using, share them in the Facebook video afterwards. Just take a picture and post it. So my first card is going to use the Heal Your Heart, which is part of the Sale-A-Bration. You can get this for free with a $50 purchase. And then I also used the Daisy Lane because I'm using this True Love Designer Series paper, and the paper I chose was this one that has the daisies on it. So I like this little daisy on the Daisy Lane stamp set. I thought it coordinated nicely. So these are this is my basic white envelope. My card base is actually basic black, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have those 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. This is 4 by 3. This is 3 by 3.5. And then I have a layering piece of Cajun Craze, and that is 3 1/8 by 3 5/8. And then I have an inside piece of basic white because my card base is black. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. And then to stamp my sentiment on in punch, I have this Daffodil Delight scrap paper. So I wanted some yellow daisies. So we're going to be using the blending brushes today. I've showed these before. They're these really great, soft brushes for blending colors. I use these now in place of the stamping sponge. The stamping sponges are still great. They give you a little bit of a darker tone when you're using the sponges, and the blending brushes just seem to go on nice and light. So I am going to use my blending brush and add Daffodil Delight to both of these. So again, I just lightly go across, pick up some color. I'm not pressing down really hard, just picking up a little and then coming in a circular motion and adding the yellow. So depending on how much depth you want in it, you can come back and add more, make it darker. But I'm just going around lightly and adding color to this. So I'm not pressing hard at all. It's just a very light touch and a little circular motion. And you can see there's some variations in the color. I've pressed darker on some places. And then I want to do this one too. So on my blending brushes, I have one for each color family. So like this is the one I always use on yellow. As you can see in here, like this is my blue one. This one I haven't used yet. And then I have another package that I have greens and purples, and then my pinks and reds. So you can choose to use them that way if you want. I don't really wash them or clean them. I just afterwards will just sort of run them around on the paper a little bit, get most of the ink off. But because I'm using this only for yellows, when I go back and use another yellow, it's just got that yellow tone in it. So let me put that aside. We have our 2 papers colored. And then if you notice on this paper, that does have some little leaves. And so I wanted to color those in just to sort of add another dimension to this. So I have Stampin' Blends in Granny Apple Green and Cajun Craze. And I'm just going to come in and add color to the leaves. Like that. And then for the Cajun Craze, this is just to do the centers, which is why I chose my layering piece as the Cajun Craze, because it'll sort of bring out, I think I want to do this in the lighter. So your Stampin' Blends always come in two different shades. It's always a light shade and a dark shade of the same color, which is really great for blending. So I'm not going to do this whole thing right now while you're watching. I'll go back and do it afterwards. I do have a completed one, so I'll show you the completed one when I'm done. But let's finish our stamping. And so for my sentiment, I said I used the Healing Hearts stamp set, and I'm going to use the one that says wishing I could heal your heart. And I'm going to stamp that in the Tuxedo Black. And then I have the Label Me Lovely punch. And that fits very nicely right around that. So we'll punch that out for our sentiment. And then for the inside of our card, I said I had that Daisy Lane set because I like that daisy. So we're going to decorate the inside of our card and our envelope with that daisy. I pushed too hard, so I got that little shadow, so I'm going to turn it around my other side and not press as hard. There we go. A much nicer stamp. And then for the inside sentiment, I have Sorry for Your Loss. I like the script on that is very soft and pretty. Okay, and I said we were going to do our envelope, so we'll do some of these daisies on our envelope as well. There we go. Okay. So let's start putting this together. I have my Stampin' Seal. Put this on the inside of our card. Now I'm going to layer this piece on my cardstock. And we'll start putting our card together. Now, I think I'm going to use dimensionals and pop this one up. And then we're going to pop up our sentiment and put that right on the side. right like that. So then we're going to add some sparkle. I have these holiday rhinestones. Now these are, I know they're called holiday. They were pretty popular in the fall, but they are in our annual catalog. So they come in the yellow, red, green, a light blue, and then a darker blue. So these are just great to add sparkle and some color to your cards. So we're going to take these. You see, I gotta get some putty out of this so I can pick this up. There. And we added some sparkle to our card. And so this is one that I had gone and I colored all the center of the daisies with the Cajun craze, and I colored in all the leaves with the garden granny apple green color. So that's what that finished card, once it's all colored in, looks like. So we'll set that aside. Let me clean up. Actually, I'll put this right here so you can look at it while I clean up my area so I can get out my next card. And here's to show you two other cards. I think I showed these last time using this True Love Designer Series paper. I love the black and white because you can color it any colors that you want. This uses the Poppy Parade on those, and then I fussy cut them out and then stamp some Poppy Parade flowers. I think that comes from the Field of Flowers. And then this is one that I made with Just Jade and Rococo Rose. So those are both different, two different Designer Series papers. Okay, so my next card is going to be using paper from the Hydrangea Hill suite. So this is this paper. It's got some really pretty purples and blues and stuff. And then in this suite, they also have this mercury glass, which is an acetate, but it's colored so that it has, I don't know how good you can see this on this camera. So this is called mercury glass acetate. And this pack comes with 2 sheets of the purple and then 2 sheets of that pink color. And then I also used the dies from the Hydrangea Hill suite. These are the hydrangea dies, and I used this die cut because I wanted some of these little flowers. So you'll see what I did when I get my card together. These are 2 other cards I made using that paper. So this is using the Designer Series paper, and then the background is also the Designer Series paper. And then actually using the same layout. This is the stamped image. And then that uses the mercury glass on the back. So today's card has the gorgeous grape, 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored at 4 1/4. This is my basic white envelope that we'll decorate. I have some of those pastel pearls that goes with that suite. And then these are the little flowers I cut out using the gorgeous grape, using that die. And then my inside layer of my card, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have the mercury glass. That is the 4 by 3, and then I thought that you kind of lost something when you put it straight on the gorgeous grape, so I cut a piece of the Seaside Spray that is the same size, 4 by 3. We'll mount that on that, and then we have a piece of that Designer Series paper that's 3.5 by 3, and the cardstock to mount it on is 3 5/8 by 3 1/8. And then we have some scraps for our punch. So I, for this, wanted to make a birthday card. So we're going to use the Approaching Perfection, which is the Sale-A-Bration stamp set that you can get for free with a $50 purchase. And then for my inside sentiment, I wanted to use the Happiest of Birthdays. So let's get the stamping done on this first. So for my front, from Approaching Perfection, I wanted to do this one. The bad news is I forgot your birthday. The good news is I forgot your age, because I try to be really good about keeping track of my birthdays, but every once in a while one sneaks by me that I've forgotten, and I got to get a card out late. So that's going to be our front sentiment. And to punch that out, I have the Everyday label. And then for the inside, I have this sentiment from Happiest of Birthdays, which went perfectly with that outside sentiment saying, happy little bit late birthday. So we'll just do that right in the middle. And then these candles are from the Approaching Perfection. So we'll just put those on either side of our sentiment on the inside, and then we can also use these to decorate our envelope. And that is all our stamping. So we can now start assembling this card. Let me get my bone folder. And we'll put our inside in first. Now, because this is acetate and a little bit see-through, I'm not going to use my seal because I don't want you to be able to see it once I've attached it. So I am going to take some glue dots and put them on the solid part. Oh, and I also forgot to say, so on the back side of this is a like cellophane cover that you want to peel off before you put it on your card. I think it just protects this from getting scratched and showing scratches. So I'm just going to stick some glue dots on the back where you won't be able to see them. Okay, and then I'm going to attach that to that Seaside spray layer. And we can attach that to the front of our card. For a few years, Stampin' Up! Didn't really have a lot of purple in their catalog, and this year they seem to have an overabundance of different sets and papers with purples, which is great. I know some of my fellow demonstrators that were going nuts because they finally had purple, and purple is their favorite. So I seem to go through phases where right now I seem to be using a lot of Just Jade and Poppy Parade seem to be my go-to colors lately. What did I do with those bigger? Here's the bigger dimensionals. So we'll pop this layer up. And there we go. And then our sentiment. Can go there, and then I have these little flowers that I had die cut. And I think I'll use just a little dab of glue to attach those. Okay, and then I have the pastel pearls to add some sparkle. So these are in 4 different colors. There's the pink, the light purple, sort of a whitish blue, maybe mostly white, and then the darker purple. So we'll just throw some of these out here. I love these pearls. They're very pretty. They're a little bit larger than the other pearls that they have. They're a nice size. Okay, and then that is our finished card, but we are going to Winky it. So this is Wink of Stella. It is a little brush. Whoops, that didn't work. There we go. It's a little brush. It's got some sparkles in it. And my glue's a little bit wet still. We're going to add some sparkle to our little hydrangea flowers. My glue's very wet. It's moving around too much. I might have to come back and do this later. There we go. So the Wink of Stella just adds a little bit of extra sparkle to those flowers. So there we go. So there's our birthday card that's going to come late. But when they get this card late, they're going to forgive you for being late. So let me get this put away and we will get out our last card. Okay, so our last card uses the Sweet Strawberry bundle. And so this stamp set comes with the punch that punches out strawberry leaf, the stem, and a flower. And then the Sale-A-Bration item that coordinates with it is Berry Blessings, which is this stamp set and this designer series paper. So this comes as a bundle. So this is free with a $100 purchase. but it coordinates very, very nicely with this sweet strawberry set. So this is what we're going to use today on our last card using our fantastic layout. So for my card supplies, I have my basic white thick layer, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have a piece of scrap paper, and I believe this is, it looks like 1 1/4 wide. My designer series paper, the 4 by 3, and then the 3 by 3.5. And then our cardstock layer is shaded spruce, and this is 3 5/8 by 3 1/8. So for my stamps, we're going to stamp this Wishing You the Berry Best, which comes from the Berry Blessings stamp set, and I'm doing that in Poppy Parade. So let's get this inked up. I've been using this so much, I just added ink to this morning, so I'm hoping that it is going to be a little bit darker than it has been. Yes, very nicely. So then I have these 2 flowers, the outline of the flower and the inside flower, and I don't want them though to be that bright because the paper I'm using is more of a washed out color. So I'm going to stamp off first. So I'm putting these on my scrap paper because I will be punching them out. So I'm going to stamp off and then stamp. So I'm going to do 3 of these. And it just gives it a nicer, softer color. And then for my insides, trying to think if I want to stamp this off twice. I might stamp it off twice, just, yeah. Because I don't want it to be overpowering. There we go. So there, so that gives me that nice softer color that's going to look nice with this designer series paper. And I need an inside sentiment, wishing you the very best. So I think on the inside is going to say, happy birthday, you sweet thing. Get this mounted, and we'll put this on the inside. And then we will add some of those flowers as well. There. And our envelope. I don't think I brought an envelope out. Let me just grab an envelope so we can do that. Okay, we'll put some of those flowers on here as well. There we go. Okay, so for this punch, I used the Timeless label, but my sentiment wasn't as wide as this, and I didn't want it to be just a lot of tags, so I cut my paper shorter than my punch, and then I'll just center it. So I'm sort of just designing my own label with the width that I want with that. And then for these little flowers, we're going to use our strawberry builder punch. There we go. Okay, now we can build our card. No, I lost a berry. I lost a flower. There it is. It's trying to hide on me. Okay. So we'll put down our designer series paper first. We'll mount this to our cardstock layer. Hold on, this keeps getting stuck, I think, but I forget to flick it at the end a little bit, and then it keeps it at the end of the tape runner for me. We'll add this with some dimensionals. And put that on there, and then we'll do our sentiment. And we'll use some glue dots to add our flowers. I had taken a photography class a long time ago, and he had talked about when you're doing like bunches of things and whatnot, odd numbers are more visually attractive than even numbers. So that's why I always do like 3 flowers here. Or he said always do an odd number, and the mind somehow accepts that better than even numbers. So that's what I always try to do. I remember that from many, many years ago. And so now I have some of these, just the pearl basic jewels. And I'm going to take the smaller ones and we're going to put them right in the center of our little flowers. And then because I have it right here, we're going to Wink of Stella our flowers and add some sparkle to them. There we go. So there we go. So that is our last card. Let me get the other ones out here and then the layout that inspired it all. So thank you so much for watching. This is my January host code. If you're interested in placing an order, I'd appreciate your business and you will receive a free gift from me for orders over $50. And let's see, we'll bring in the hydrangea card for the belated birthday. And then I have my daisy card using the True Love Designer Series paper. And then this was my layout inspiration. So there are the cards we made today. So thank you so much for joining me live or for watching this in replay. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And remember, leave a little sparkle wherever you go.